All right, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. As you can see, I'm the only one who has shamelessly promoted myself on my slide, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of who I am. Well, this summer I was lucky enough to go to How Design Live in San Francisco and just learn a lot about the design industry in itself. How Design Live brings together creatives from across industries. Whether you're a freelancer, designer, or creative professional, they're there to share their learnings across channels. The conference itself was the main point of the conference was recharge your creative tool set. And the main things that I really learned at this conference were to steal. I learned to play. I learned to be stupid. But I learned to do all that strategically. How Design Live was comprised of 4 conferences in one. Over the course of 5 days, creative professionals came together to share their thoughts and learnings throughout their careers and really bring it to everybody for you to learn your first day back in the office and then every day after that. Here are the 4 conferences that were there. There was a design conference, a Dialines conference, which was packaging design, a freelancers conference, and the in-house managers conference. So there was a lot of great topics to pick from, and I created a Wordle here, because who doesn't love a Wordle? So these are the 4 topics that we're going to digest today, and I'm going to show you really how I learned to steal, play, get stupid, and be strategic. Not necessarily in that order. So the first is strategic play. Adobe had commissioned a creative agency out of New York, Sigmeister and Walsh, to do a conceptual piece of their Max Creative Conference, which was every year, and basically they took really simple elements like paper, pencils, paint, foam core, and within a 24-hour time period, they created basically an identity piece for this creative conference. It was broadcast live on Times Square, and the final product that came out of it was this, which you wouldn't expect to come out of just people playing around. And it is really impactful, and it translated through many channels. And this is the digital version of that. So it's really, the true problem solving comes from not being afraid to fail. It's really being able to dissect that and really go into those different nuances. So the key takeaway here is you're most creative when you have nothing to lose. That is why play is so important. Imagine what you could do if you were to never fail. Now do that over and over and over. So pretty impactful stuff. The next slide I wanted to kind of bring up is if you steal from one, you're plagiarizing. If you steal from many, it's research. And the main thing about that, as a designer, I look for things to inspire me, to really motivate me to create really cool stuff. And you have to do that by honoring what's come before you. And this is a really simple way for you to honor the stuff that's come before you, because really you're always creating stuff from something that's already been created previously. So really, you want to study, you don't want to skim, you want to credit, you don't want to plagiarize, you want to transform, not imitate, and remix, not rip off. And this is the kind of stuff that I really think about when I'm doing my own creative work, is I try to really grab from things that have worked before and try to make them better, optimize them, make them better and better and better. And at the end of the day, it's really about being nice. The world is a small town. Sooner or later, you're going to run into somebody you know in New York, Hong Kong, Chicago, whatever, and your reputation follows you. So the main secret to all work, I feel, is do good work and share it with people. That's the main takeaway that I'd like to share with you from that. And the biggest form of flattery is imitation. So they're all pretty powerful things that me, being a designer, really kind of gravitate to. The strategic play, strategic website design. If you haven't noticed, these are all the people who have presented here tonight. Here's Jim, here's Sam, here's Rosemary, Shannon, Andrea's coming, there's Melissa. And all these people that I work with agree that The strategic web design is a layered effect. And it really is about planning, it's about prototyping, it's about concept and design, content creation, programming, and this is really a layered effect. And we think about conversion and all of these optimization channels, and you've heard of a lot of great tactics here tonight, but we put all of that thought into this process every step of the way, whether it's design, whether it's prototyping, whether it's anywhere throughout this whole process. So at the end of the day, you know, you saw all those conversion funnels before. This is one I made really quick, and that's Sean, the first presenter, because he likes conversion too. And you know, you have to remember your business goals are the most important. Meeting those, then through that attraction, engagement, and action, and soliciting that action. But really thinking about that back to the process, we're thinking about that the whole step of the way, not at the end, but from the front all the way down. And if you want to download this, there's a lot of great tips here, 14 tips that I feel are pertinent to web design in its whole. So this is going to be available for you to take as well. So the main takeaway I have for you here is don't start with design. Content and design must go hand in hand, and that's through every step of the way, whether you're trying to get your audience to download something or whether you're creating it from scratch. Content and design do go hand in hand. So who's ready to get stupid? Has anybody here ever taken a class on design? Raise your hand. Awesome. Who here feels that design is being creative? Wrong. You're my creative director. How can you say that? Damn it. Take out what you know and solve it again. Really, creativity is about problem solving. When I was at How, I did a workshop with a bunch of different people. They set us in chairs, or I'm sorry, well, of course they set us in chairs, but tables of 5, and we grouped together with people we didn't know, and within 60 minutes, we had to come up with a relevant solution to launch a rubber ball across the room using only Dixie cups, rubber bands, just really rudimentary supplies, as you can see here. And the surprising thing is that we did it. Every team was able to get the ball at least halfway across the room. Really, what's important to remember here is that really great ideas come from a combination of relevance and novelty. And here's a little chart that I made about the idea timeline. Here's the quality of the idea and the time it takes to solve the idea. Typically, a good creative or a good creative house will, the job of them is to take an idea from the initial solution, which is relevant, how well a problem is solved, and the usual drop-off is right here, but to take that idea to novelty, and I'm not talking about like a Pez dispenser. I'm talking taking that idea to a novel one, something that's impactful, useful, and is full of rich content. And that's really how unique the solution is. So it's relevant and unique. So these are the things that we think about here at 90 Octane, and it's really, it was really awesome to see that actually in play at How as well. So the main takeaway here is creativity is a skill, meaning you can get better at it with practice, and relevance, and novelty. Your creative skill will get better. I wanted to thank you guys for coming today, and just a closing note by the godfather of design, Paul Rand. Design is simple, that is why it's so complicated. This is something me as a designer really thinks about before I start any kind of project, is trying to be relevant, rich content, make it all the things you've heard here tonight. So thank you very much.